Good afternoon. Consecutively, today we would like to present our new direction. I tried to make it as easy as it is possible to eliminate difficult words, processes. Let's check the sound once more. Hello to all countries, to Europe, whole former Soviet Union, whole world, because there are so many flags in our chat. That's why I want to greet everybody. It's great we have sound. Let me ask then those who got my personal contact, the leaders in our chat who are 15% plus, and if there are any problems with the sound and so on, you can call me, inform me. But the chat I will switch off at the moment. Let me find and switch on the sound in the leaders one. Here it is. I'm done. I'm switching off the chat and we're ready to start. So I would switch the chat, but I don't know how to switch it off. Well, meeting room management. Who is a professional in this room? How to switch it? Take off. Oh, here it is. Nice. Sort it out. Let's start. New direction. For many people, farming was difficult, for others currency exchange was difficult, still others do not understand fund market or speculation. That's why for everyone to meet all the preferences, here is a business which can be touched, the business using which in future you will be able to understand what the IPO is, because it will be capitalized and become public, and the one which most of you are looking for all the time, namely how to get rich at once, how to buy Tesla shares when they were low and it was just emerging, Google's and many others. I would like to outline that tech companies have been around for a while, but when we are looking into the direction of healthcare, medical cannabis in particular, it is really just emerging direction. So the companies which are inside of these directions, they have got a big potential. So many figures which as of now for you might seem big, they are minimized. So let's start. Well, today we will speak about our companies. All of them will be interconnected. Total vertical integration with our medical cannabis. We will discuss every company a bit, what they will do, the numbers, plans, and we'll look at what we can do here and how we will be able to increase our wealth and assets. As whole, the task for all the project is to become a leader of European market of growing. We will develop in both CBD and THC. We will start with CBD, and at THC legalization we will also develop our company consecutively. The goal is to cover everything what is drinkable, chewable, and all other directions like oils, shampoos, creams, and everywhere where cannabis can be added, and it can be added almost everywhere. I mean CBD at the moment, it can be added almost everywhere, to add it there, and this way to create such products and distribute them. We will start with a company which will grow CBD. So what will it be doing there? Meaning that we'll be able to do, what we'll be able to do? We will have there the thrust, namely different types of smoking products, and their trim and biomass, some kind of leftovers. So I use the correct word, trim. I do not know how to translate it into Russian. You correctly you will be able to Google it yourself. It's necessary to create the extract oil. So take into account that we have four companies which together will sell these leftovers For your understanding, there are a lot of companies which do only grow, and their products either decays somewhere or they throw it away or pay to others until utilize it. So they simply don't use it and do not monetize it. We monetize it once to increase our impact in the market to attract as many clients possible. We will grow and sell three kinds of quality goods. The one which will grow in the tunnels, in the greenhouses. So when we are talking about greenhouses and tunnels, they are approximately the same. I will tell about the differences a bit later. And indoor, which is full-fledged production inside the building according to all the standards. In general, it's according to all the standards everywhere, but the quality is a bit different, which can be defined only by the fan of the market. Also, simultaneously, we will launch the processes on all three kinds of the production. This means that process tunnels, greenhouse, and indoors are launched at the same time. Those who start a bit bored because of the theoretical part, I will try to hold it not so long. So please do not get bored a lot, and we will surely go into the figures because you have to understand what direction it is before you come to its economics. You have to know a little what and when to understand it's simply needed. It's necessary to understand the directions you would like to invest. So we will start with tunnels. The tunnels are planned for 5,000 square meters. There will be realized the process of ventilation, namely air exchange. Darkening will obviously be there. So there will also be automatic irrigation and drying. Here's the necessary budget on the tunnels for 5,000 meters. This is a year of rent which is included into the cost. Minimum rent term is 3 years. It is necessary to buy equipment which will cost 1.8 million euro one time. Further investments into infrastructure 500,000 euro. Payment for the team for a year, as well as paying the team on the side. So total amount of capital and operational investments for the first year on tunnels is 3,700,000 euro. Let's move on all the calculations in euro because we spend euro, but in your accounts everything will be recalculated in dollars. In-house is a big glass building, not completely made of concrete, just a modern glass greenhouse which will be 3,000 square meters. Consecutively the same processes, but the quality is different because it is completely different type of building. Rent is indicated here because here we have less space, which results in smaller sum needed for the first year of work, which amounts in 2.8 million euro. And the most expensive part is indoor. This is full-scale production with the best quality product which can be grown all the year round. The difference of the previous kinds of production is that they are dependent on many factors including weather conditions, and it is impossible to grow the product all year round, so the productivity is lower. The quality and the quantity are lower as well. It's not about quantities, it means that all the factors play their role. So when we come to THC and CBD, let me tell what they are. CBD is without psychoactive substance, cannabis itself. THC with psychoactive substance. For basic understanding, in the market, the difference in the price is approximately 3 times. The production is 30% different in cost. It can be produced exclusively indoors, that is in greenhouse, and in the tunnel it will be impossible to produce it, it will be legal. That's why it will be produced only indoor. So the processes are the same. Capital and operational investments taken into an account the first year will be 7.5 million euro. Let's go forward. How all those works are planned to be done. First of all, finding the location to rent. No one will build there from scratch. All the bureaucratic questions contracts, agreements, etc. Ordering necessary equipment, creating of the team. I think that all processes can be seen here, so I will not dictate in them. We have it here that till the last term, 9-12 months, we will already have the first harvest, which will start growing as a in greenhouse. The first harvest, taking into account the 3 months difference, will get the first harvest by the end of the year in greenhouse and tunnels, and we will conduct indoor inspections, so it will be possible to be produced there and will launch growing there. So 2 or 3 types of production will be already working by the 9th month, and by the 12th they will end process, and by the 12th month the third type will production will start working, and the company will start working at its total capacity. After the start on second, 1 second. At the start of growing on all the places, there will also be continuous optimization. So when the business is completely launched, its costs will become lower and lower, so the profitability will get higher as the company will become more and more expensive. Here, the next stage, next business will be extraction. So the first that we do is we grow the product itself in 3 types of facilities. Part of it we will give to be packed. Another part of it, as we have discussed, trim and biomass, we will send to extraction. So this is the process of producing the product based on the extract of cannabis oil with the high quantity of CBD. There will be installed extraction machine for 2000 liters plus accompanying equipment for its purification. Installed lines for packing the oils, sprays, capsules, jelly, candies, and labels. Plus laboratory and the HPLC. This abbreviation tells me not so much. It's high performance liquid chromatography. That what does it mean? I don't know really, but the guys need it to start the business. So what is the budget here? Here we need to pay the rent of the building, buy expensive equipment, invest into already rented buildings. There is the cost of the team. So all these numbers you will have, and probably there is no reason to dictate them. The thing which is necessary to understand is that total cost of such object with such capacity will cost about 20 million euro. Well, the process of fulfillment, how it is going to be done, looking for the building, equipment, payment for the equipment, then after those difficult projects, and approximately 13th 14th month there will be the reaching producing capacity. So in about 12 months there will be the beginning of the plant where we will have the possibility to create the first trial batches and to turn everything in up to 13-14 months. We need means that 13-14 months is the beginning of getting the returns. Let me remind that in the first production it was about 9 months to launch 2 facilities out of 3, and in 12 months launching the third type of production. In parallel, I mean, all the businesses which I have just mentioned, they are launched simultaneously. Same time we launch extraction of extraction plant, and somewhere during the 13th 14th month it already starts working at its total capacity. The next company will work with sales of the product, distribute the goods with the help of vending machines, marketplace, online platform. So about the vending, there are 3 types of vending machines. I'm clicking and changing the slide. They are to be three types of machines which they are to be installed in different places. Some of them are installed in buildings, some in restaurants, others in hotels, some outside. That's why there are three types of them and will have to be purchased. Online platform will be working with the internet traffic, and its main task will be to engage all the main European brands to charge them commission and to earn on them as well. And little by little, when we develop in marketplace to transplant those brands which we will attract with our own. Let's move on. Here we have the cost of vending machines. It's necessary to understand that they must be with credit cards readers and age verification, but this is only basic part because 3,000 machines is not so many, especially for whole Europe and Switzerland. It is not a big quantity, so we are planning to increase their number. The cost of place for vending machines differs from 500 to 1,000 euro per place. Technical team will cost about €1 million a year. Managing team for 100,000 euro. Marketplace about 250,000 euro. 350,000. We didn't have the calculations here on marketplace. It is not counted here. Expenses on marketplace, so there would be at least 5 slides more because it's a team for development, team for the its execution, alpha versions, beta versions, testing, different SEO, tuning SEO, advertising CMM, after that brand ambassadors, a lot of work that I will not list here, and it is not included into the budgets, and we will try to fulfill all of these with the smallest expenses. Vending roadmap, because of course information on the marketplace can be described for a long time. Here we have chosen the producer. We have already taken three biggest companies from China which do it, but for everyone's understanding, this is a process which are not willing to wait for, and we will discuss it a bit later. We haven't started yet the pool, but we have already started some working process on site that are in the process of conducting negotiations with the biggest producer China based on tender in quite smart way, called first, second, third, and made possible for them to find out that we called them all, and we are trying to reach the best prices and conditions. So first we will need to have the head office, which has to be maximally prestigious, cool, and beautiful, the face of brand. All bureaucratic process, a lot of legal process. I even did not include into here, not to overload you. So further, here we have locations, signing contracts with locations, gas stations, center shops, outside placements, etc. In about 6 or 12 months, meaning from the 6th to 12th months, there will be done the installation of the vending machines, so some kind of the first profit can be awaited starting from the 6th, 7th months in this direction. That means very soon, because all of us know the 6 months is not that long, so full capacity on the first batch we expect within a year. Let's move on. Products. The company will get from us necessary ingredients for the smoking product. The same is for ingredients from extraction. Will be in charge of complete packaging, branding, marketing, sales, and will develop the company as a brand. Respectively, final product will be smoking product, oils, capsules, jelly base, different jelly candies, sprays, formulas. According to the formulas displayed, CBD omega, piperine, and ginseng, if pronounced correctly. Respectively, the company buys the raw material from production and extraction and supplies to the retail networks in Switzerland and Europe. Roadmap: we have to understand here that approximately there is no need in long preparatory stage. It is understandable that the company will be developing for many years and everything will be improved, but for the first money it's not needed a long time. First money will probably be available to receive on the 7th, 8th month, maybe even faster, but these are terms given as good promotion of the brand has to be done. Now let's go into the math. Let's take pens, paper, and start counting. Someone is writing here that we have to explain here the vending machines means vending machines. For example, when you come to a airport, you can see some kind of the thing that looks like a box. Front side is made of glass, and you can see different types of the goods. Throw the coin into slot or pay with a card, choose a number, and get the product you have chosen. And marketplace is an online trading platform. This is to explain the meaning to some of the people. Well, let's move on to an important economical party game. Check the chat if the picture and the audio is okay. Let's take paper and make notes. Write me some information to the chat. Well done. Then let's continue. Thanks to all who have written. So, the main goal, the main advantage, and the way where we are going, let's start with prehistory. There was a time when we, about 3 or 4 years ago, if to be precise, 3.5 years ago, we were analyzing the market and understood the great, huge perspective. And I hope that all high level partners understand that the cannabis market means nowadays. Cannabis market is unbelievably perspective market which can itself give huge multiplication or even not to the leading companies and not to the innovative ones. But currently the production facilities which we made it in Switzerland. Despite the fact that it was created in Switzerland, we are receiving 3 or 4 times more quality product than our competitors on the market. Is cool, and this is a real exclusive, this really big advantage, which especially provides a good bonus and plus in terms of capitalization. I would also like to remind how it was done. First of all, our goal was to make 2,000 square meters in Portugal, and people who became investors, they thought that they will be co-owners of Portuguese company, but as we try to explain that business is time and money, no one wants to lose money as well as time. We didn't wait until the end of pools. We did not wait to the end of the assets collection. I mean, to calculate the assets we gathered for the production facilities which we created as a result is mounted in about less than 20%, as about 15%, even less. Money was gathered compared with the production facilities which we have got. People became co-owners of the facilities in Sweden or Portugal. So currently there is shares cost about 9-10 times more. So they can be sure they can easily sell it to others. I think the expected profitability for people will be not less than 90 or 100% a year, and probably not so many of you will be able to show me a real sector where you are able to come and touch with your own hands any businesses like this with such perspectives and modificators. That's why I would like to greet them. And now let's talk about the future. Respectively, we had following model that we for a long time, but besides those people became co-owners of businesses. It is important to understand that to issue shares for the people who are from CIS countries, as we are all from the for Europe and Switzerland and the rest of the world, we are not the most welcome clients. They do not want to open accounts in the banks to us and work with us because they think our financial systems not transparent enough. Them. That's why I think that everyone of you knows about difficulties opening even an account about abroad, for example, people from Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and so on. I even do not speak about Switzerland. So when become part of the team located in Switzerland, become a shareholder with bank account. So despite they earn the money, we can greet them that the whole world would be easier to accept them in general, all the structures. The model which was created was done in the way to attract as much assets as possible as well as to add as many people as possible. The model which we are currently working on, the main value in the amount of people, because here we will touch cryptosphere, and despite the classical instruments which give us multiplication of our assets, will also use crypto market. Why not to use available possibilities and to earn even more? That's why let's try to sort it out. There are 4 companies including production, extraction, sales, products. All of them are in one sphere, healthcare. All of them are connected with medical cannabis. So if to look on this with usual view, it is vertical integration, meaning that everything is interconnected. First the product is grown, then the oil is made, later the capsule is produced, put into jar, and jar is sold. At all the stages, the business does not lose the money it earns at each stage, respectively. At the beginning, we start all of the businesses which are able to work independently, and later we start swallowing them. For example, the cost of 1,000 grams, 1 kilogram of the product made of cannabis, 1,000 grams of cannabis can be done for about 150 euro. This is good quality cannabis, 150 euro at the production stage. So when this cannabis goes through extraction and packaging of the product and is sold to the final consumer, if we of course mix all different products, sprays, jelly, berries, etc., including smoky products, so it is pretty real in CBD to receive as a result 7,000-8,000 euro per kilo. So 150 euro we spend, but when we connect all the mentioned companies we get 7,000-8,000 euro. Let's say we do not spend 150 euro because it's spent in the production facilities. We will have to send to extraction, pack the product, packaging costs another 2-3 euro, plus logistics a few euro to produce oil of it, light, electricity, if not to count capital expenses. This also costs not so much. So when we paid all the capital expenses, we understand that 200 euro give us a result 6-7 year. So we understand the math here. So when we take this math, this is about 3 times, and multiply the standard utilization, standard policy at classical market. Let me simplify. The standard policy is to take the company income, especially of the niche like this, and multiply its profitability and marginality 10 times. Taking into an account that here we can make 3,000%, multiplying this figure 10 times, we get 30,000%. And this can be the growth of your share prices. But this is not all. This is the growth of the price of your shares at station, that the market stays the same, But if it is legalized on federal level, for example, in the states, there will be more laws adopted on its distribution, the market consumption will grow, the figure will grow even more. And grow not into some number of the percent, but manifold. And if we add to this figure legalization of THC, psychoactive substance, then this figure can be multiplied in about 3 times. Again, not the fracture of the percent, and you already understand the number of x's. So it is really possible to compare it with Google, Apple at their beginning. Now, after such interesting mess, let's move on. Well, almost forgot. It's not over yet because we have already multiplied it for the market development, and it will definitely develop in any case because it's only at the beginning. It will swallow all other markets, for example the market of alcohol, and be absorbed, will increase the profitability. It will be used different ways for cosmetics, different ways of the use of consumption like vitamin, etc. Plus when it comes to medicine, and it will be fully used in real sphere of medicine, this will be even bigger multiplier. And this is not also all. We will end it with the fact that we are creating special token shares for this. This means the token shares, so we will take away all the worries which are connected with legalization of your assets, where you have taken the money for your shares. So we take away the factors which will force you to pay taxes as of today, as they will try to track where and what you have got, meaning that eliminate huge amount of your credit moments and give you those token shares. How does it work legally? It will all be in the legal field. I will explain next slide, but what you have to understand when I'm talking about multiplication of all this story, we take these token shares and start listing them as tokens in big exchanges. We start looking at the competitors. Who are they? For example, here I will mention that we have Bitcoin, Ether, Binance, Solana, Cardano, etc. This means that we have coins. Let's take Solana, which has the capitalization of $40 billion capitalization. So we have got coin with a huge capitalization, which have nothing behind them except an online platform, and that's it. Online platform like startup aggregators with the capitalization of 40 billion, and it's not understandable if it will work or will not. In our case, the token shares are backed up by real fully scaled business, huge amount of employees, a lot of vending shops, goods which you are able to see on the shelves, meaning the real business, and this real business, real profit is generated. Real money with huge marginality, with great profitability. This means that they are earned not with the help of Solana, which gives you the profit because you keep it, and it's not understandable how much it will cost us. Today it might cost $1, tomorrow $0.50, and after that maybe 10 cents, but we give you real sound currency we earn, will sell, and the CBD, for example, sprays and so on, earn dollars, sound currency. You may not like dollars. You cannot say that less liquid than Ethereum or dollars, the less liquid than cryptocurrencies altogether. We understand that the dollar will be accepted everywhere. We can go to Africa, to the most remote village, and it will be accepted. We'll go to Moscow, Vladivostok, taken, Ukraine, taken. It will be accepted everywhere, and that's why the most liquid currency. And when the business is backed up by the liquid tools, it will attract big attention from crypto market. Despite all of these, let's compare it with the traditional dividend shares. We will take one of the dividend shares. We mentioned Coca-Cola in the beginning on purpose. They give approximately 3% annually to its shareholders, so it gives 3%. Our possibility is up to 200%, and The type of business is the same. Coca-Cola is produced, packing bottles and selling the shelves for money. The same is here, and just imagine for the moment that despite its simply dividend token, despite its growth in price according to traditional understanding and laws, how it can be multiplied at a crypto market. How much can it be multiplied? How many people from crypto world would like to take part in it? Understanding that it will traditionally be growing with these numbers, how much more it will be interesting to take part in it. That's why it's quite innovative instrument, and its realization will also be quite innovative, but you don't have to be afraid of anything. We will tell and explain everything. It is very simple, just a new realization of it. Usually, earlier you heard about security token, which is kept very regular in the regulated in and is not issued for the businesses. My friend, about the questions, I see them but a bit later because I am a bit disturbed by them. I didn't want to be distracted on them on purpose, but still already have got a bit distracted. Let me switch on the chat and you will remind me what was there. Try not to disturb me by personal messages because I'm worried about the sound video and start reading them and get distracted. So where are we? Oh, security tokens, super. Usually, such things are realized with the help of security tokens, and but because a lot of financial regulators forbid it, so now we have already approved model which went through this difficult way and is named DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. We will talk about it a bit later, but this table consists of the numbers of issued shares, respectively. Capital and operational expenses. Capex and capital expenses, one-time cost of purchasing equipment. Opex, operational expenses, every annual expenses respectively. For capital and operational expenses for the first year for the production, 14 million euros needed. We of course make the shares for our investor twice more expensive. The extra pay two times is sent for marketing and team and for us big number of people. That's why I will explain a bit later what it influences. First pool, first half a year, we need 7 million euro. The process will be started with which need this 7 million euro. It will be 10,000 square meters, which we have already discussed. Expect profitability about 90%. We are able to record ourselves artificially because all of four companies are ours, interact between others. So if we want, we can sell it for extraction price of 500 euro, 400 euro, 600 euro. We have very big margin everywhere needed for optimization, because this margin is very important. When the company will be audited, it will be audited with the fact of high marginality left for optimization, and that's why it will be one more multiplicator for the value of shares, especially if it is done 4 times in a row. This will give us high access. What does it mean? Because you are buying it once, as you are buying at once bit overpriced shares. I will explain on the examples. There was, for example, a person who himself is a founder and he invested his own money. He would invest 1 to 1. For example, invested 14 million, built his own business, meaning that he does not owe anyone anything, earned 90%, earned 9 times more when he launched the business. But because you are investor, you have to share with us, with the team, with distributors and all the others. You are buying the shares more expensive as there are more of them issued. I believe everything is simple. I will not be explaining for a long time. So when the business is launched and starts to bring money, your shares price is 4 times higher than you got them. Later will be merger. The companies will merge each other, but we will come there a bit later. Let's talk about it after looking at each type of business. So about extraction, 20 million euro is needed, 14 million tokens share are issued. That's where the shares cost 50% more. So 40 million of shares are issued. The business needs 20 million euro. First pool 10 million euro. We will get, let me see, for 2 shifts, if I'm not mistaken, approximate capacity will be 22,000 sprays. 2 shifts is 10 hours. General in 3 shifts may be possible. There is no problem with it. So 22,000 sprays a day, 12,000 jars of capsules a day. It's written a bit incorrectly, or maybe made a mistake. It has to be 12,000 jars, 30 capsule jar, and 16,000 jars of gummies, 30 of them in each jar. Profitability of this business is about 130%. So where do we get multiplier of 6.5? They are calculated as follows. We take 130% of profitability respectively. We have multiply into 10 and get 13x's. So 1300%, 13x's, because you buy the shares twice more expensive. It means that 13x's is the valuation of the company in general, but because you bought twice expensive for it, will be only 6.5. And then ending, we buy 3,000 machines, approximate profitability of 180%. So if it has been clear marketplace, it would reach about 95%, but because of the running given liquidity is generally, it's about 180%. As the audit expected price is about 9 times more, it will cost like this, and buy the products because we artificially made the direction with the highest margin, all marginality, all excessive profitability. We moved into the products to make a very strong brand. So at this company we will get the biggest capitalization. The meaning that according to the audit, the price will be for you 12.5 times more. Let's proceed to more interesting. For example, currently, we have production that sells in current conditions, current profitability about, according to the market price. Market price is approximately 500 euro per kilo, though its cost is 150. So let's say we sell for 300 euro to extraction and have marginality of 200%, well, 100%. But if we unite businesses here, we'll be able to sell for 300, let's say 250 or even 200, even by the cost price. So the capitalization is growing because of optimization, plus the business is optimized each other, plus traditional practice when in the same industry the companies connected with each other merge for the reason of optimization. So the companies that approximately may cost 90 million be sold by the company that costs 100 million. After mergers, the companies will cost not 119, even not 250 without optimization, just because they merge in the teams already. Companies, multiply the value, but when they make an optimization internal process, it grows even more. That's why as the first merger, the both of these companies will be takeover. What is the takeover and who it is for? Takeover is merging process for people who invest in products. Those who enter product companies, they will get this multiplying, they will get 10, 20, more than 90, and we understand that it can be 10 or 200 times more, 300. I'm speaking that 50 is a very minimized number which can be given by this business. Where we will be doing all possible to get to also interested in nearest future to get our billions from this business, because this business will be billion one. Right now we will talk about these two lines, and we have to speak about 4, 5, 6, and 6 and 10 price after takeover. Because companies will have to be taken over, it will be necessary to buy the shares from those who we have already sold them to. So when you are buying the shares of the production, extraction, or sales, but will not be shareholder of the product, you will have obligatory condition. Whether you want or not, at the moment of the takeover, we will buy your shares for the investors' money, new investors' money, or our own cost, or together with the bank. It does not mean how. You, as a condition to enter business, you will have to sell your shares, but do not be afraid. You will be selling your shares according to the price, which will be evaluated by big four audit companies. The biggest audit company, probably the most famous of them, is Deloitte. Second, third, and fourth are named in difficult way, some kind of price for the house, KPMG, and so on. I mean, all of them are known thanks to Deloitte. So the huge audit companies will approximately value your shares 4.5, 6, 9, 12% times more. So at first takeover, we are expecting approximately in 24 months. This means that we ourselves will be buying them out from you, the shares, and ourselves will give you 4.5, 6.5, maybe earlier, or maybe even earlier. So approximately take such terms, we will by buying them out ourselves, and beginner will give you money for these shares, and for each dollar of production you will get from us 4.5 in production. For each of the extraction you will get 6.5 of your dollar. In about 32 months we will start taking over the sales company. They'll get for each of your dollar about $9.5. So you will grow 9.5 times in 32 months, and about 40 months, maybe not 3.5 years but 4 years. It will be completely one company which took over all other three, which will be full-fledged vertical integration. And here the rocket to space starts. Here starts already not 50 times 100, 200. We're flying and flying long, depending on the fuel given to us by crypto market. First, our rocket which launches us will be well-known traditional rule of the economics of all the public companies. These multipliers of our profitability, we take, let's say, 150, 250 and sell to ourselves. I'm sorry, spend this money to make the product, sell it at about 7,000 euro, get 35 times more, 3.5% of marginality multiplied into times. This is traditional evaluation of the company. We take this launching mechanism, it sends us into space. We will name it like this. After that we are flying, depending on how strongly we will be supported by crypto market, depending on which studies we will be making, how strongly we will take over the market, which products we will be manufacturing, how interesting will it be if new discoveries in the medicine are done, depending on adoption of new laws around the world. Friendly speaking, a lot of more applies for this number. That's why we are interested in attracting as many people as possible, so each of you will be interested in development of this business. Because when you will be coming and we will attract two such people, maybe 5,000, 10,000, when everyone is interested in growth, when everyone will come, the exchange and buy out each token, send price into space, meaning this big community that is interested in growth, who understand all the aspects. There will be one more mechanism, launching mechanism will provide even more fuel during capitalization. That's why quite generous and public condition for everyone, namely to enter the production It is necessary to have as minimum 2.5 US dollars to invest. By the way, little clarification. The numbers you see on the screen are minimal. These minimal figures are for 1 week, for 7 days. Later the numbers will grow. They will be increased to times. We have just made a little promo to give the possibility for biggest amount of people to enter. Namely, we will take an easy example. I probably forgot to get to marketplace table. To enter product company, we will have to buy shares for 10,000 US dollars for the product. For this, we will need from the sum which we want here in product make a minimal contribution into sales, and minimum necessary there will be 7,500 US dollars. Also, minimum necessary has to be invested in extraction 5,000, and minimum into production 2,500. This PD, I forgot to add one more very important line here. It's correlation of entries. Let me write it down here so it will be counted as follows depending on how to count. Let's sort it out. For example, if I want to enter for 20,000 into product company, I'm obliged to have 20,000 in products. I will be writing everything in the chat, and later we will add the information to the presentation. If I want to enter product company for 20,000, I have to enter sales for the sum, which will amount 3/4 from the one I want to invest into. I will write everything so you would not be confused. Well, my beloved keyboard glitch, dear friends, 1 second, sorry. Our Apple likes to have some glitches, and the keyboard starts to be different, but it's not a problem. Respectively, to enter into sales, you will have to add there 3/4 of the sum we want to invest into the products. To enter the products, except of sales, you will have to have shares in extraction. This 1/2 of the sum we would like to add to the product, so this will amount 10,000, and 1/4 from the initial product amount into the production. In this way we will be filling up pools in each business. In this way each one will be able to reach its minimum which will be necessary first launch. People entering products will be increasing their marginality because they will each dollar have at the beginning 90% profitability on each dollar, then they grow extraction having on 30% profitability, then 180%, and then 250. To make this business and to start seeing first money, it's needed about a year. Production for extraction 14 months. In sales and products, probably starting from half a year. Little by little increase its power and bring the money little by little. So the begin of the start, the begin of some kind of monetization already in half a year on the last two businesses, the last two in the table on the profitability. I think that will be the question, so we will finish it in a minute and explain. If I want to take part in products, I will have to be in sales, in extraction and production. If I want to be in extraction, even earn 130%, I have to be present in production. If I want to be in sales, I have to be in extraction and production. I cannot enter sales without being present in previous businesses. The same about products. The main capitalization will be in products. This company will give maximal multiplication. So we here outline all biggest margins. For example, having $10,000, I will not be able to enter sales. I will be able to buy only $5,000 in instruction, and for 2,500 sales, I will have to look for another 5,000 to be able to buy 7,500 in sales. So if I have 100,000, second, I'm sorry. Well, if I got 100,000, we can calculate approximately 45,000 I will try to invest into the products. The system will be tuned correctly and will calculate everything for you. So approximately 45,000. Well, keyboard has broken down, so it's a fate we will calculate later. We will calculate later. My keyboard is now writing. So it is going to be how it's going to be achieved. There is quite a new mechanism. It's not exactly new, it's about 4 years old, but it hasn't been used as often, and the first implementation in the legal sphere have started. It's DAO. I hope some of you know what it is. For example, LLC, limited liability company, named different jurisdictions like AG in Germany. This is an organization which is organized on blockchain. Everything is transparent, everything can be seen, all changes, nothing can be corrected or changed, which works according to the rules. The rules which conditions which are agreed between the executor and users, including investors, all these rules are written down and are saved on blockchain. They will not be able to be changed later. It's impossible to replay it. It doesn't mean that it's totally impossible. For example, someone changed something and later two parties argue. It's completely impossible, and all of this relies with the help of smart contracts. This is an example of the mechanism of fulfillment where there is a decentralized organization with clear written rules how money flow. Team, mostly they invest. There is an organization which clearly writes rules according to which the assets entered cannot be taken back in any way, and it is written about investment into project which flies into space. So maybe it's present in this picture will tell. Let's understand further how it works. There's a DAO organization. There are 4 legal entities which send money in smart contract. Legally, according to the contract, the smart contract distributes these assets according to the conditions which were mentioned earlier, depending on the amount of money invested. Everything is simple. There's legal entities which send money. Smart contract currently it's completely real. Take fiat money from legal entities and convert them into cryptocurrencies. So they transfer it to smart contract, and smart contract is an autonomous thing that cannot be changed, which is written once and is general and if general voting of what 51% people is not done, the changes are not made. Respectively, it must be much safer because code is written and nothing can be changed in any possible way. So for people it's even safer. Instrument which is open and transparent is also described that all rules are laid down. The contract which is in blockchain, everyone can see them, and all the operations are done automatically. Contract works automatically, plus all of this is validated, executed by thousands of nodes, thousands of devices around the world which are used by people. So here it cannot be tricked. It is much safer instrument for investors public use than traditional entity which has to issue shares, etc. Less supervision, less questions to be asked, much less influence from all kinds of regulations, and it is very, very difficult to stop its work because every technical aspect is fulfilled by a huge number of computers. That is why it is crazy safe and reliable instrument. To invest it is enough data you have in your accounts. Even non-verified accounts will be able to invest. Now about the conditions. Here, with the minimum of 7-day entry, that is the data you can see, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10 are minimal entries. They will grow twice in 7 days. So do it and do not lose this opportunity. Your leaders, sponsors, people who invited you requested us to provide you with such opportunity, and we will give it to you. There will be also an option to transfer half funds from Forex that you would like to invest in this direction. This you can transfer any deposit you have, including deposit you made yesterday or the day before yesterday. The only thing is partnership percent has already been paid and turnover has been calculated. Forex deposits, the percentage will not be accrued again, but you will have the opportunity to transfer half of the funds. Then you already have, let's say, the upgrade community opportunity. What does it mean? It means, for instance, you have already bought package for 25,000, entered before the product, and then you have only 10,000. You do not need to invest 25,000 again. You can invest 10 according to product ratio. Relatively speaking, if there is approximately 10,000, then it will be approximately 4 to 1,000, sometimes like that. That's will be possible. Ignore the minimum threshold since you have already passed them, and add the amount that you want. We have added the investment proportions here. That's the proportions of investment. I think are already clear. You need to take your amount. Let's say, okay, we have already calculated. I will not repeat 15 times. I'm opening the chat right now. You will be able to ask questions, so it will be possible not only to see the photo of current production, but the way you can see even the video from the current production, and you can come to Switzerland to watch. Insurance is mandatory. Crop insurance, equipment, all of these, of course, are taken into an account. So let's discuss the questions. I switch on the chat because people write into the personal accounts. And already have a question. How many kilograms of product do you plan to get from 1 square meter? So the yield per square meter is different. I will explain you why. It is all different in indoor, in greenhouse, in tunnel. If we take the tunnel from 5,000 square meters, we are planning to receive about 4 tons, 3-4 tons of products from 5,000 square meters in tunnel. If we take greenhouse, there's 3,000 meters, then we plan to get 2.5, 3, 5 ton of product in greenhouse from 3,000 square meters. If we take indoor, we can get about 4 tons and even 5 tons of product from 2,000 square meters. It works like this. Going back to chat. So. Dear friends, the launch is planned on the 7th of April. We will give you some time to prepare, get acquainted with the financial part, introduce it to your people, etc. Testing is already available in Switzerland in retail chains, and even just in chains you can already find our products and try it. But not that actually, it will be another production, new, and the test without problem. Next, will it be possible to buy cannabis shares in the future? Friends, I'll pause the chat for a moment. I want to remind you that we will not wait for anyone. We will not wait until someone is hesitating to make a decision, change their mind. We will not wait until the pool is assembled. The issue here is not in finance. Here is a model that we implemented. Let me find it. Today, I remind you, we already have full-fledged production. There is already an understanding of how to do it all. It's all already done. That's now the question is only in question, and now the question is on for those who want to probably make 100 and make their capital. Because let me remind you, if you just take 100x and we count it for future x's into thousands x's, that can be here in generally, if you just take 100x, then 1000 and 100,000, even take 4 years of business, then we understand that by investing 10,000 you become millionaire. That's the same about your own money. Why are we offering you to join this business? Because I said it is one of the types of fuel, one of the types of trigger that is you will be needed interest parties with the participation in the cryptocurrency market as well. That's why to reach the golden mean to give you the opportunity and not take anything from ourselves. There will be only 1 month during which you can make investment months later. So someone writes to the chat, yes, I turn off the chat specially to finish answering. It ends in 1 month. That is, the poll is open for only 1 month. After this month, we start production. That is, we are doing further production. We are doing extraction. We are doing sales products. All businesses are realized. All businesses are done to end. It doesn't matter how much money is invested. If we get the entire amount or 90, 10, 20, 30 or other percentages matter. That's why in any case we move on. Therefore, those joined good for you. You make a decision. They are with us. We won't wait. Now I reopen the chat and continue. That is, it will begin on 7th of April, around May 7th, Victory Day on May 9th. I think it will be possible to close, although it is not day victory for everyone, but generally speaking, it is. We'll see. Approximately May 7th, 9th will possible to close questions. Bank cards 90 days for 14% plus. So topic question testing first come ask start April 7th. So why do you increase entrance after 7 days? Because we don't want to wait for anyone. The question is well not in money. If you want to participate, you're welcome. Don't participate. So it was with the first production. Yeah, so yeah, turn on the chat in the conference, don't worry. So when transferring deposit, is it possible to combine and use the deposits of married couple, husband and wife? I believe that it can be discussed. Contact your sponsor, please. If chat does not work, try to log in, out, and back in. Because I restarted the chat and maybe it's frozen for someone. We message appear. Friends, we will not say about tell you the address of the company located in Switzerland. If you are a shareholder, you can see it, or if you are 15 plus, then you will go with us first, and this will not publicly disclose the address. Those people who are the part of the company, they will know where it is, but due to the fact that in addition to reasonable people, there is a million of strange ones who will come and interfere with the entire production process. As a result, the police will also watch thousands of different people coming to us. We will not reveal the address to public. If they are those who are subscribed on Instagram, you saw how It works so the final product and the rest everyone can visit. There are no questions whatever. Out of 40 months, we are buying shares only from people in the first three companies: production, structure, and sales. If you want to the product, you stay with us. You earn with us 50 access or more, even more. That is in order for you not to force to buy out. You need to be in products, then you stay in each of the companies. That's the end in one of them, because one company will overtake all of them. Therefore, if you have reached the product, you stay, and then you earn those same great access with us. If we bought it from you, you also earn good interest and are happy to. You can invest in production, expand extraction, sales, and products. Explain the minimum and generally think that okay, now we're all calculated how to calculate a package. I think we'll calculate it. So during the week we can take 12 and a half from Forex. Yes, that's right. It's possible transfer from Forex if I want to go the first direction with 2.5. Possibly, yeah, let's give it a go. Although before we did not provide such an opportunity, but let it be within 7 days you will have such an opportunity. Let's make such a mini gift. So if you have only 2.5, then you don't have money, you will get yourself 2.5. That is at the beginning you receive money in a year, and that is after. No, we will calculate. We will do production during the first year. In the second year you will earn 2.2 dividends, and in second year, in addition to earn 2,000, you will earn about 12,000. Okay, I've been corrected. Still, I was wrong. Regarding Forex, if you want to use Forex, then it can only be used for the whole package. That is only when you go into the products you can take 12.5 from Forex and 10.5 from new funds. If it's less, then it's impossible. Unfortunately, I didn't come up with all these marketing stories, but we collectively decided it always our board, so we have these conditions. Here regarding, I explained that if you happen in entered with 2.5, that you will receive dividends, the shares with the which you bought out, and you will earn about 5x in 2 years, which is quite good. What's the guarantees that everything will work out? Can it turn out that there will not be enough money? There are no issues with funds because we are located in Switzerland. We in addition to having our own money, which is enough to implement all of this. That is question maybe regarding funds. In any case, we need 34 million for production and extraction. Considering sales, we can take not 3,000 machines but 1,000, reduce pool by 3. If their only things is we don't get same, we can make smaller investments into the marketing of the last company. Thus generally we do not need much ourselves personally to launch. Since we come up with the idea to launch it the way it would be great, this would be big X and more monetization. But if that doesn't work, no problem, we don't depend on it, we'll do it anyways. We can easily invest 15 million and take same amount in bank. That is there are no issues with it because will be bought to the stage of probability. So why would you sell shares? You will not sell them. We will buy them out from you, but if you are in first company, then you are not touched. If you are only in first two of the first ones, then we'll, and if in force we will stay with you. Why you're going to buy back the shares in a couple of years? In order to company take over others and then get all those crazy X's, those 50 for the amount 100. So we need to complete a takeover when necessary. Only those people who are in all companies remain, and so we have to buy the shares. These are conditions for takeovers by companies and other company. Unfortunately, it was not us who invented it. It was invented by market regulations. Therefore, we will be required to buy your shares in takeover in order to earn those big access. Why take only half and not the entire required amount from Forex in order to increase the funds turnover as well? If we will simply take it from Forex, the funds itself will not increase. You need to start Forex only if you and works only if you enter whole package that is for 25,000, that is 2.5 can be taken from Forex and 2.5 of new funds. So I want to invest 15,000. How much can I get in 3 years? Well, here you need to consider the average amount. Probably don't have much time count, but 15,000 you can go to sales, extraction, and production. Your checks will be 11.20 about 6 point. That's after about 3 years, 6.8 plus 7, 8, 12, maybe about $100,000 turn up in 3 years from 15. Shareholders return first, second round, currently 90. First round at 130 of the second company, not around by company. Currently 90 first and 130 secondly. Here I want to say that you can see if everything goes well, then maybe you will participate. We will sell 49% of company, keep 51%. Let's see, so far we are selling on 25 of the company. If again we understand the hype, we sell 24% of the company, but the next 24 they will be in different conditions. It's also very important to know that for all companies, the first 50% of the necessary funds people receive plus 5% of the actions. The second ones, by them 5% more expensive. Relatively speaking, for $1, when the counter starts, there are 7 million. The first buys for 5 millions will receive plus 5% for every dollar here. Those who buy second part later, 3,500,000, 1,000,000, 3,500,000, they will have to pay 5% more. That's why the first ones who enter 50% of non-input first round of the pool get plus 5, and the second ones pay 5% more. Therefore, try to be the first out. So for those who have previously invested in cannabis, if you have already received 10 times increase in value of their shares, plus in addition to this, those who have become, who started investing, they will have a bonus. They will be able to enter with a minimum amount, I think, $1,000 for an extraction, but let's talk about it a little bit later. So about this later, so as not for to confuse friends. I will not repeat the same thing millions of times. You can take funds from Forex only if you enter package 25,000 and you enter the package. If you enter the package, you can take funds from Forex. If you go to 25,000 for direction, the first dividends will be approximately in, well, not in 6 months. The first money will be received in 6 months, and approximately they will be, but look, that getting our first money from startup business is not entirely logical, but we do this and do it because our cannabis that works here. Therefore, I think that a fundamental issue will collectively vote, and it will possible to receive dividends from the 7th month, but it would be more than logical to do this from ninth month, that is commercial activity begins from the 6 months, relatively speaking. For 6 months and first day we will earn money. We will sell 100 packages. That's we need to sell some kind of batch and then share it with the batch, so it's not divide 3 cents all the time. Therefore would be logical to do it from ninth, quite realistic, even from seventh year, then from 12th one more business is returned on, and from 14th more business dividends will be paid every quarterly. What is the best way to arrange package for two partners? Well, look, you'll get crypto shares. Accordingly, you can then divide them. There is no problem at all. The main thing is that there is a trust between two of you. I have already approximately announced the calculation with investment 2.5. I mean, it's about 5x in 2 years. Market price, well, it's bad for health, but it's about economy, about making money. I agree, it's harmful to health, but it's the CBD and it is without psychoactive substance, but we will also make psychoactive ones. These will multiply all these multipliers by 3. So if you want to invest 10,000, you put 5 in extraction, 2.5 production, and you will still look for 5 to go into sales, and then another 10 to go into product and increase your product. There will be commission here. There are no transactions costs, so there will be no commissions. They'll all these from the company and take all the moments. First shares buyback in 2 years. We will buy back the shares 2 years as the 8 months. After 2 years or 2 months, and is an auto takeover. There are the ransom number. How does this plugins of Europe affect? I don't know. Transfer from forex only when you buy a package is the amount of entry cannabis limited, not as much as you want. Just come in. If you want million, come in. If you want 2, if you want 3, you are welcome. Cannabis shares need to be sold. Friends, I have already answered these, friends. Let not drag out the webinar too much. I will answer only those questions that have not been repeated after completion. You will definitely find the answer about questions I missed it. If I missed it, I will skip once I have already answered. There will be a record. You will find answers to your questions. We will not discuss family accounts. We will talk with partners. If they, then yes. If yes, then yes. In profit column, quarterly payments. The minimum threshold now exists. It's now 7 days. Then in each one, include 2 times. Then the minimum threshold production will be 1,000. Then for extraction 10 for sales. If you invest 2.5, then later you will be able to upgrade. But questions but the question by way not been worked only by us either. That is, I think that we will leave an opportunity for those who make it through the entrance in the first week. For those who make this production at this price in the first week, they will be able to go further in existing conditions. That is, if you have already entered this production under conditions, the minimum entries, and you will be able to enter further under some conditions. We will leave this, I think. There will be no commission examples, but 20,000 forks will figure out later. The turnover will take into account everything that is not transferred from, that is, all new funds will be taken into account. From every you will earn everything you'll earn yourself, affiliate classics that all earn the foreign exchange market, you will earn here in the same way. For example, if you deposited 1,000, you earn some of your investment invested here. Same in the foreign exchange market. About the payment of dividends, they will be here profit of the payments that will be on dividends. Those who participate in the first round for existing company, they will Happy benefits for entering will not raise more money than indicate in the scheme. We're going to try the product. You can already go to Switzerland. Switzerland, there are goods on the shelves. You try transfers are the same as in foreign markets, but when transferring from forex, transfer from forex is not taken into account. If you don't know it, it's written here. It's written any deposit turnover and partnership are not taken into account, but with new ones are taken into account. If you don't have passport ID, will do mandatory redemption only if you are not a shareholder of product. That is, we buy all up to the product. Everyone who is in sale in product instruction is redeemed. If you managed to lock in up product, then your shares are safe and we will not buy them back. Package offer will be for 7 days. General pool would be collected months. No matter how much money is collected, all processes will begin. It will close in months. 7th of May. It will close in months. We collect in euros, so if the dollar goes down sharply, we will increase the required amount. This is not a big problem. Did I understand correct? Is that on the first day I will replenish cheaper power production, by the 30th day I will continue fast extractions? Yes, you got it right. The production that is grown is on 51% by us and 49% will be distributed to shares in DAO. When it will be listed on the exchange, yes, but relatively speaking, you can buy tokens which will settle us for those people who already bought them, and there will be no additional emission of tokens. They wish you will be only once initially, and that's it. Those who invested in the first round will receive this benefit for entering the extraction. Yes, Swiss are working now for us. Our COO is not Swiss, he's Ukrainian, but he has also been living in Switzerland for 2 years now. So, friends, we are discussing the topic cannabis. There are a lot of different questions. I just keep quiet, don't voice them. I only read questions related to the topic. If you join April 7th, you will have exactly 1 month to buy extraction, sales, and products. The entire transaction is legally documented. The opening of DAO is legal. Connection of the DAO with legal entities and accordingly already. That is the format of how the fiat money will transfer to legal entities to smart contract, and the rest of the process is carried out using a smart contract and blockchain. That is it, crypto shares, token shares, which accurate for forex. Anytime if you want to put 500,000 in cannabis, you can take 500,000 cannabis from forex in EU countries and Switzerland. Regarding the ban on the sale of products, on the contrary, they legalize it everywhere. In order not to be subject to mandatory redemption, you need to invest at least $25,000. Yes, right. If you go for 25,000, then the first payments we will vote whether it will be small payments on 7th, on there will be already normal quarterly payments on 9th. That's you can already earn for 7th months in all last 2 directions. So, friends, I see specific questions already repeated. Your partners who have figured it out will give you answers and explanations. Timur strongly confuses legalization between countries. If people aren't partners at all right now, can they just go into cannabis? Yes, they can come only into cannabis. The first three bought out by the company, can shares of the force be left? Yes, shares of the force can be left. Yes, I have already answered to these questions. I will go to the end. It is possible through a wallet as well. Production, you can send us the application to email and we have the positions there. You'll be able to buy tokens on exchange, list them. We completely make the takeover, but the model which allows a list in 2 years, even in one, and to make the second listing in 4 years of all the tokens, including those taken over. Accruals will be done in tokens in USD equivalent. So, frankly speaking, you will not lose exchange rate because you will get it in dollar equivalent. Or if token costs $1, you'll get $1. If you cost 10 cents, you will get 10 tokens. You will get dividends always in dollar equivalent. You will not lose and risk on the token value. I'm reading comments here. We have already spent 1 hour and a half, so not to torture you, all the questions which you have left, you can ask your sponsors, and we will obligatory answer them, because there are a lot of questions from 1,500 people, and you will forget everything what I told. Yes, we can buy the land facilities, but it will cost even more. Multiplication will not be counted into team turnover. We'll have recording. So then, thanks to everyone as of now. I'm sure you will definitely have more questions. Send them to your sponsor, because it's very important for you to remember everything we have discussed today, or at least the economical part. Memorize it. Presentation will be sent to chat. It will be corrected and sent to chat. Thank you everyone for presence today, and especially in asking questions. For all the questions we'll answer, but not a live broadcast, not to make all people listen them again. Send them to sponsors. You will get answers to all the questions. Thank you very much. Good night. Get prepared. Sundays left. See you.